Hey guys, I'm going to be playing a bit of Age of Empires 2, or more accurately, I'm going to be rewatching a game that I played yesterday. Um, and if you're not familiar with the game, I'd start to go over a little bit of the history. I've got a couple of videos up here on YouTube. I hope the guys who posted them don't mind. But anyway, just to show you how the game's kind of progressed over the years. So the original came out about 20 years ago, something like that. And I remember playing it when I was very young. I think it was probably one of the first games I really enjoyed, even though I didn't really know how to play it, so I just cheated all the time, like spawning a load of units to destroy the computer. But this is kind of this is how it looked, the original version of the game. You can already see the resolution is not great. I'll just full screen this. In fact, let's just skip into where we get to some gameplay. Okay, so it looks like it's playing the campaign there. Okay, so you can see very old school. Looks a bit funky on like a large monitor these days. It's maybe partly due to the fact that this would have been definitely 4.3 rather than 16.9 like widescreen that we used to know. But yeah, so it's like a real-time strategy game. If you've not seen it before, it's probably one of the most popular, or at least one of the most well-known real-time strategy games developed by Microsoft, and it's been going for years and years and years and years. Like I said, about 20 years, and it's remained popular ever since. Even though there's been sequels and spin-offs and things like that, but none of them I think quite got the balance and fun kind of combat and building your civilization up as quickly as as well as they got it in this game. So this is kind of like how it looked back in the day. Then I believe it's in 2013 maybe. They released the HD edition, and the live community, like the community around the game, like was already quite big, but it exploded. But as you can see, every, all the textures were I don't know if they were redone or if they were just upscaled so that you could see it all in a much better resolution. And here I've bobbed this on, which was a World Cup final, I believe, which looks like best of seven between China and Finland, it appears to be, and so you can see how kind of big the community's got around this game. It's like there's competitions and the guy that you can hear commentating on this video is an absolute legend. He pretty much started streaming Age of Empires games just because he loved the game and loved playing it and loved watching it, and so he started doing it in his own time, and then over a period of a few years or whatever, he ended up doing it full time and kind of makes a living out of commentating over Age of Empires 2 games, which is amazing. It's a 20-year-old game and it's still as popular as it just tells you something about the community behind it, and also how good the game is in general. So I just thought I'd show a little bit of history of the game up to now, and then we'll go into this is the definitive edition, which was released just before, I think it was just before Christmas this year, where they've redone everything from the ground up, I believe. It's still the same game, but yeah. So we'll go. We're going to be watching a game that I played yesterday, because I've just kind of been aware of all the competitions and all the how active the community still is in this game, and so I've started playing it again recently, and I can't play it. I still can't play the game very well. I'm not cheating anymore, but I still can't play the game very well. But I was really happy yesterday because it was the first time I was able to beat a hard AI, and I know it's not much, but it's it's been a long time since I've been able to do that. I've been able to do the standard difficulty for quite a long time, but there's a big jump between standard and hard. But this isn't the hardest difficulty by any means. So without further ado, we'll get into the game, and I'll show you what it's all about. So apologies if you're well aware of Age of Empires, and because this is all going to be quite newbie stuff, and I'm going to explain a little bit about the game, just so that you can see if you've not played it before, you know what's going on. So you start with this town centre in the middle, and a few villagers, and your villagers are probably your most important asset, because they're going to build your buildings, collect your resources, and allow you to build an army up to be able to attack your enemy, or defend yourself if they're attacking you. So I'll just go over a bit of the UI. I'm just going to click view lock on here, so it'll that just means that the camera is going to follow what I did when I was playing the game. So I'll just go over the resources first. So you have wood, food, gold, stone, and that's your population there. So for every house that you build, you get an extra 5 population, and in this game, the settings in this game, it goes up to 200 population. You can make it more or less, but I've always thought 200 was about standard. And then near the middle here, you can see the age that we're in there. So Dark Age. So you advance from Dark Age to Feudal Age to Castle Age to Imperial Age in this game, and you need a fair amount of resources to go from one age to the next. So you see, at first I'm concentrating on farming, and I've just sent a villager out here to chop some wood, and he's building a lumber camp there. So that's where you gather the wood. So I'll turn this view look off now while I'm just going over there. So they'll once you set a villager to a resource, they'll just continue doing that until you tell them to do something else. And the key to having an efficient early game is to keep your town centre creating villagers. So we might see that I fail to do it at some point. So you get kind of like sheep or turkeys or llamas. See one over here that I haven't got yet. I think I'm going to get with this villager here. And also there's boars, but the boars will attack you when you try and hunt them. So there's a way when we go for the next one. Next one's over there. So when we go for that, I'll talk you through that as well. So it's a game of balance, really. You've got to you see me building the house there just before I got to my population cap. So you got to balance collecting wood, food, gold, and stone, whilst constantly increasing your population, and then a little bit later on, we get to building some army units. Now I'm playing against hard AI, and at the moment the hard AI is probably going to be doing something similar, but a little bit better than me. Now, in fact, let's pop the score up here, so you can see. Oh, in fact, I've got a higher score at the moment, but that could just mean I've got more resources, which is not necessarily a good thing, because it might just mean he's being more efficient with spending his resources. You can see he's at 16 villagers at the moment, if we look up there, and I'm at 15. Yeah, so he's ahead, which I would expect, because the AIs are very good. Obviously, human players are better, but I'm not. I'm still a bit rubbish at this game, but it's so much fun to play, and I've always thought it has been. So yeah, in the early stages here, you see still focusing on. I wouldn't have got my bar and didn't explain it, but anyway, don't matter. Still focusing on food and wood. You see my scout over there. I'm just looking around to see, try and see if I can see where the enemy is going to be. So I know he's going to be on the opposite side of the map, but I'm focusing on this choke point here. So I'm thinking, right, okay, I need to build a wall there, which might buy me a little bit of time when I'm getting when he inevitably comes to attack me with a larger force than I can deal with. I'm going to take the view lock off here for a moment. They see me sending a villager to go build that wall, and everything in this game is set up to make it easier for me. So we're on a map type of Black Forest, which generally generates a map where if you're playing 2-player, there's one choke point in the trees where you can get from say my civilization to his civilization, and so I'm building a wall, like a palisade wall there, just to stop if he rushes early with any army, because I'm not going to be ready for that. I ain't even built. I think I might be building I'm building a barracks here, but I ain't got any army yet. So my scout's going around trying to find stone and gold and relics. So relics, let's find a relic. There's a relic here. So once you get to a certain age, once you get to the castle age, you can build a monastery and then send monks to get the relics, and that will gather you gold over time. It's super important to get as many as you can. So still at this early game kind of point. It doesn't look like there's too much going on, but I'm always panicking when I'm playing this, because you've got to be always doing something. So I'm researching now to go up to the feudal age, which will allow us to build more buildings and create different units. And you can see his scout there. Notice that he's found where the choke point is as well. And what probably did me a lot of favours in this game is this scout is trapped on his side. Usually the scout will run into your base quite early, and then the AI will be able to see exactly what units you're making, and unless you kill the scout, and exactly what kind of build you're going for, and then they'll counter it earlier. So anything helps against this hard AI for me. It's not the hardest AI. There's much harder AIs, but like I say, I'm a bit of a noob at this game, so just play it casually. So again, building more houses, because I realised, I mean, you wouldn't see a pro. I don't think you see a pro building more houses when he was already 4 or 5 villages away from his population cap. But again, I'll stress, I'm I'm not even close to someone who plays it regularly, let alone a pro. So there's various other resources. So I'm collecting these berries for food here as well, and you'll see me over time transition these villages here onto farms. And so as well as making your buildings and collecting your resources and producing villages, which hopefully when I go to the town centre I should always be making villages, but there'll be a point where that'll slow down and stop. As well, you can research technologies as well, and everything you see up in the top left hand corner is either units being produced or research being done, and you can see it on the right as well. See, he's doing a lot more than me at the moment. It's the AI, and his score shows it there. So let's just have a quick look and see what he's up to. Go over to his. So already he's got military. He's got what? 2 archers and a skirmisher in there. He's soon to have 3 archers there. And has he got any military out and about as well? I don't think so. But yeah, he's already at 35 villages, and I'm at 25. So he's already at 10 villages ahead. Now this is if I was playing against a human who was 10 villages ahead, at this point in the game I would stand no chance whatsoever. I'd be absolutely slaughtered. What's he doing there? Interesting. Oh, I just sent him to there after. No, because that's been built a while. So at the blacksmith here, you can get upgrades for your military. And you see I'm getting fletching here because I'm planning on going into archers. Being the civilization I've picked here is Britons, and my plan is to spam their unique unit, which is longbows, which cost wood and gold. So I am trying to get a lot of villagers onto wood, but also you can't neglect your food as well. So, and I've just put some villagers onto gold, and I've got nothing on stone at the moment. Might be a bit early to be having 3 villagers on gold, but I will need all the gold. In fact, I think in this game I completely forget about this gold here, and don't take that until really late in the game, which again probably helps me out a lot. So I've got I've just started making my first military, and so I've got my creating some spearmen in this building and some skirmishers in this building, and these are units that only require food and wood, and so I'm trying to save my gold so that I can use that on archers. And here you see I've been housed, or I've run out of population space, so somewhere I should be panicking and trying to build a house. Here we go, I've got someone building 3 houses here. And still just producing 1 villager, but still producing villagers, and we've got army producing as well now, but not quite so much as our enemy, I'm sure. So now I'm at 35. Let's see where he is. Now he's at 48 population, so he's pulling ahead. Not only just being ahead, but he's pulling ahead in terms of. And you can see again in the score is about almost 2,000. Almost 200 in front of me. So it's a bit of a gap there. I probably won't be paying too much attention to the score at this point anyway. I'd just be focusing on trying to build up an economy. And again, still producing villagers. I've got a few queued up now. I'll probably automatically send them to wood and then redirect them from there. And that means I'm being attacked by wild animals. You see this lizard here just attacking my villagers, and then this villager not knowing what to do. So plans from here are probably going to be to get the relics. So we've got one there, and one there, and that'll be as soon as I get up to Castle Age. And if I look at my resources now, that's probably going to be not too far in the near future. Just sending my military out there. Probably, I think I'd send them to around about here. And I've got a little outpost there as well, just for a bit, so I can see a bit further. And again, his scout comes up to the palisade wall. He's trying to check out what's going on. But yeah, I absolutely love just putting some tunes on random on iTunes, like on my favourites playlist or something like that. Having a bit of a game of age remember, and some of the improvements for the definitive edition are so welcome. Like you can all these farms have like a limited lifespan. You can see the food counter moving. Well, it wasn't there, but here we go. You see the food counter moving, and then once it runs out, you've got to like build a new farm. But in definitive edition, you can automatically refresh your farms as long as you've got enough wood to build the farm in the first place. Then it'll just automatically do it. Whereas before, you had to. I think in the original, I'm not even sure if there was a queue. If you had to literally physically build each farm, and then in the HD version, or maybe in an update, they added queues so that you could queue up a lot of farms. But even though that was much better, you still had a point in time where you would run out. You'd be maybe fighting a battle, and your queue would finish, and then you'd have to come and queue up a lot more farms. Whereas now it just automatically does it as long as you got the wood, which makes it much easier. And another thing that they've just added is your scouts can auto scout, which helps me out a bunch because I'm terrible at forgetting to scout when I'm concentrating on trying to build my economy. So you see me here, I've just got to Castle Age, and the first thing I did was send a villager to build a monastery here, so we can train some monks and pick these relics up for the extra gold. And another thing that you can do in starting in Castle Age is build more town centres. So I think ideally you want at least 2 town centres, but three and above just lets you have a much bigger economy. I think they call it booming, So, oh, and he's at my scout over there. Yeah, just sat there, not doing much, because I think I've explored pretty much all I can without going over to my opponent's side. So you see me getting a lot of upgrades here, some resource upgrades, so gold mining, upgraded the spearman to pikeman, and probably getting the stone mining as well. So I've just created a monk there, and I assume at some point, yeah, I'll go send him, look at him on his little wee journey, going to get his relic. Bless his little cotton socks. So now it's a case of just, there'll be a few new buildings I can build, so I'm building a university here which will allow us to research some extra tech, and at some point soon I'm probably going to stonewall this. There we go, so that noise was just the monk picking the relic up, so I'm sure at some point soon I'll send him back to the monastery. There he goes with his little relic, and then the other monk is probably going to be sent on his way to pick up the next nearest relic, which is just over here. And I'm being attacked by wild animals, so I decided to build a town centre over here, next to this gold, so we'll probably take the gold, take some wood, farm the boar if we can, and then start setting up some farms around the town centre. I'm not sure, I think I just built 2 town centres in this game. There might be 3, but I think it's 2. I've slept since yesterday, so I can't really remember. Yeah, so it's shaping up. Again, I'm probably super far behind the AI at this point. He's like at, what, 3,000 score, I'm at 2,500. Let's look at our population up here. So I'm doing 58 pop, and he's at 85. Yeah, okay, so there's a big difference. And he's already got quite a bit of military and quite a few upgrades as well. You can see anything with a plus sign in the stats there is an upgrade, and these are an upgraded unit to start with anyway. So he's got skirmishes there, he's got crossbowmen again with upgrades, and yeah, he's so what, 16 skirmishers and 15 crossbowmen, and he's on 1 town centre, 2 town centre, 3 town centre. So he's on 3 town centres already, and just doing far better than I am. But again, probably not half as good as like a pro player would be. Like a pro player would eat a hard AI for breakfast, I'm sure. But it's all about balance, and it's all about efficiency. And I think one of my weaknesses generally when I'm playing is I don't have any, I don't use the hotkeys very much. I try, but I end up using mouse for a lot more than I should. So there you see, I've built my stone wall there, and I will have noticed that there's this this stable here, and this would be the point where I probably think, oh crap, I'm going to get rushed soon. I best start building some military. And then you see me put a castle here on this hill. So there's you get a bonus to attack for anything that's coming from a hill. So if you put your archers on a hill, or you're fighting hand-to-hand downhill, you get I can't remember what the bonus is, but you get like an attack bonus. So it's always a wise idea to build a castle or a tower on a hill, as long as it's kind of where you want to build it anyway. But so you see, I've got some gold to take here, there, and there, and there's I'm started taking the gold here. Got some wood cutting going on and some farming, and I built another monastery up here just so that the relic was about here, just so my monk didn't have to travel all the way back there, and I could start getting the gold a bit earlier. Okay, and now, am I still producing villagers? Yeah, we're still producing villagers from that one. Are we on this one? Yeah, so I'm doing okay. I'm doing alright for like a casual player. Not too bad. But then again, we're at 82 population. and I'm just about to get housed again. And he's at 110 population. Okay. This is really interesting seeing it after the fact. Like, because obviously I can only, when I'm playing, I can only see this perspective. I have no idea how many villagers he's got or anything like that while I'm playing. Just that he's doing a lot better than me, because I can see down here the score. So again, I was getting up close to my population and panicked, started and built all the houses in the world. Getting some text. What am I getting? Fortified wall. Yeah. Just to give my wall more hit points and stave off his attack long for a longer period of time. I've got a bit more chance to build up my army. I mean, really, at this point, I have enough wood. I think this is a second castle. Yeah, I have enough wood to be building many more, like production buildings, barracks, and archery ranges, and stables and stuff. But I don't know. I'm just always a bit late to the punch with these things. Up here, I think. Yeah, you can see I'm not producing villages at this town centre, so I'm blatantly. I've seen this, and my focus has got to come down here. In fact, let's just view lock and see what I'm looking at. Okay, so I'm doing something in the middle, and I've noticed that he's just advanced the Imperial Age, and I'm halfway there. So again, I'm not doing too bad. So then I've gone up here to maybe queue up some more villagers. Oh, I'm getting him to hunt boar actually, okay. Use the food that's there, and then we get attacked. So immediately I'm down here and going, oh crap, this is the beginning of the end, because it's usually not long after this happens that I lose again. So now I'm thinking, right, okay, do I have enough military to be able to fend this off? And I think the answer at the moment is no. I'm building my special unit from the castle, the longbowmen, but it's not. I don't think it'll be enough. So my skirmishers here are getting destroyed, and then I just advance to the Imperial Age. So at some point soon, I think I send some villagers to build some more production buildings. So I'm just going to take the view lock off again. So like I say, at this point I'm thinking, oh hell, he's got, what, 40 odd military there. And now I start spamming a few production buildings down here. And I'm building up a few longbowmen. I've got 5 there, a few more, another 9 on the way there, and what, another 5, about 7 in the castle, and another 6 there. So the longbowmen are going to save my behind here when they do come in. But I'm trying to get all my upgrades as well. So you see me, and then I'm upgrading these pikemen. Well, I did have some pikemen, but I think they all died. Well, there's one there. Yeah, one pikeman left. He's just been upgraded to a halberdier. Right, so when it comes to fighting, each unit is good at fighting a certain type of unit and bad at fighting another type of unit. So for the halberdiers, spearmen or pikemen will all be good at fighting mounted units. The skirmishers here will be good against archers and infantry, and well, sorry, not infantry. They'll be good against counter to archers. So you see here, I just get my longbowmen there, who they'll be good against most units at range, but not against siege. They can't. Like siege is their Achilles heel. So siege is like these rams here, and then there'll be catapults and scorpions and all sorts as well. So I've just thought to myself, right, I've got just about enough units now to start whittling down this little force he's sent to my wall. And I'm starting, and if you can see in the top left here, I'm starting to queue up a lot more units. I think the key is to have a lot of production buildings, and to be always have them like at full capacity, so that when inevitably you do lose units, you replace them with more instantly. So they're just gathering up here. I end up taking out this little force here, but I'm pretty sure if we go over to the AI's view, he's gonna have army all over the place anyway. Although to be fair, I did okay at like whittling him down a little bit there, so I'll go back to my view here. So I just send a few units in just to kind of see if there's much more military about this area, and there doesn't seem to be, so I can push forward a little bit. And now that I'm attacking one of his buildings, no doubt the AI's going to start sending military over my way, so if we go to his perspective there. Oh, there you go, yeah. He's just... So one thing that's really cool, if you go view lock, like although if you do have epilepsy, I'll probably look away for the next 30 seconds or so. I'll tell you when it's okay to look back. But if I view lock on the AI, well, usually, has it not worked? Maybe it's not worked. Here we go. See, the AI is all over the place. I think maybe when last time I view locked on the AI, it was near the end of the game, so it was like literally all over the place. A load of battles going off everywhere, and he was flicking around the screen like something impossible. We'll come back to that later. Maybe it'll be the same in this game. So here I'm thinking, all right, cool. Like I'm pushing a little bit, and he's not sending too much army towards me, so I should be doing all right. Still, I'm creating villages. Still creating villages there. Not creating villages there. So again, I could be doing better. I could be more efficient and be bringing more resources in. I should really be making more farms at the moment. But again, I think I'm just zoning in on the military and not doing anything else. See, I've even started to build houses over here and not realised that, not remembered that gold. I've taken this gold behind the castle then. And I think we're about to get to the part of the game which resembles most actual wars. This is the part where I send everybody in to die, basically. Poor little dudes. So you can see my longbowmen there. They're doing the majority of the damage, and the guys in front of them, although they are doing work, they're really just protecting these guys, because when there's a lot of them, they're just very effective. But already I'm running out of units in front, so you'll see me keep sending more. It's basically cannon fodder. They actually can't get past them at the moment, so I need to move them. But still, this is quite conservative on the amount of buildings that you'll need. You'll see I'll build some more at some point in the future. I think I'll put them around here somewhere. And now I'm thinking, right, okay, all the guys in front of my longbowmen have, well, most of them have perished, so I need to be a bit careful here. Could really do with a new lumber camp somewhere, because this is hugely inefficient. Each villager having to walk this amount between where they're working and where they're dropping off the resources. And now you see I'm just massing army up again. And I start building a little bit of siege. So these trebuchets, I'm thinking, right, let's take some of these buildings down and start moving into their base. But again, this is the first and only time I've ever beaten a hard AI, so I'm still not confident at this point at all. Oh, because I've been in this situation a few times and just absolutely failed. It's just because the AI is just seems to have the ability just to carry on producing at will. I suppose it's just got a better economy than I do, or maybe it takes the fights better than I do. It puts the right units against the right units more frequently than I do. Because again, I'm a bit rubbish at this game. So see, I've gone in with these halberdiers, and again, they're good against horses. But I'm generally just using those kind of units as a distraction. And I'll send my my longbowmen in, and a couple of trebuchets, and I'll try and take that hill there, park my archers on the hill, and then start taking out buildings with the trebuchets. So AI is not too concerned. He's like, I'm not gonna rush to send all my units out because this guy don't know what he's doing. But I think when I start to take buildings down is when he'll start to flood the units my way. So you see, first thing I go for is the town centres. If there would have been a castle, I'd have gone for a castle first. But the town centres can do damage to my army. If you garrison villages inside the town centre, then they fire arrows. So here I'm just... what am I doing here? Am I getting some... I think I might be researching some technology. You can see on the screen on the right, on this little bit on the right here, we're both producing and researching a lot of stuff. Well, he's producing a lot of stuff, I'm producing and researching a lot of stuff. And already, I've only got trebuchets, archers, and a few skirmishers left. So he backs away from the fight. I think he thinks he's going to lose a lot of his army to the longbowmen here. But I do believe all of these longbowmen will die at some point. Okay, so I'm going to take the view lock off. I'll also take the fog of war off, so just so we can see everything now. So he's got a lot of army. I don't know what this siege is doing here. Maybe it's just getting out, trying to get out of the way of the rest of the army. And he keeps kind of pushing and then coming back on pushing and coming back. But at the moment, I'm probably thinking, wow, this is going better than it usually does. Usually it's pushed back and destroyed me by now. And but I haven't yet panicked and built these, so he will push back. Take a look at the review log. Take a look at the AI now, see what that's like. Yeah, it's a little bit more all over the place. So he's flicking back, he's going to buildings to create units, looking at the battle, he's microing the units. So microing is kind of getting control of a single unit to make sure everything's attacking the thing that it should be attacking. and this is what it looks like when you watch a pro player play online, because they're all over the map the whole time using the hotkeys to get places instantly, and just production from everywhere, right? It's probably making you a bit queasy. I'll put it back onto mine. Whereas if you look at my view lock, it stays in the same place for a long time. Now that was a huge mistake there. If you saw how many of my units went in one shot there from the siege. That was from a catapult or a onager, I'm not sure if it was upgraded or not. So at this point I'm thinking, right, okay, try and save my siege here, because I'm running out of military. Although I do have a fair amount of resources, so I can produce more. But this might be the point where I panic and build some more production buildings. Because I'm thinking, wow, even with all that huge army, and even with the production that I had before, it's not going to be enough to beat this AI. And as you can see, he's still producing military. And he's been able to push me back to here. So what I'm going to do here is just set my trebuchets up, rather than just not using them, and try and deal with this siege here. Again, my efficiency on this wood collection is horrible. And look, I've got all these villagers just doing nothing because I've forgotten about them. Have I realised about the gold yet? No, not yet. Okay, here we go. I'm building the buildings. I'm going, the army's not enough. We need more. And here we go. So he's gonna try and push now. Although I have taken the score lead after that last push, I don't think I'll hold it for too long though. But so far my economy has been untouched, even though it is ludicrously inefficient. It hasn't been attacked yet. I haven't had to take my villagers off the farms or anything like that. Okay, you see I'm getting these production buildings up here. So this is for more what you'd call trash units. So the halberdiers and skirmishers, who are, I do have upgrades on, but they're still very, very weak units. It's just, again, cannon fodder. So luckily all these rams try and take out these walls, so I'm able to fire at them with my trebuchets, and I think that really helps me out here. But you can see with these buildings up, my army production is a lot faster. I've still got these guys down here. But if I hadn't built these here, I probably would have lost this game. See what's going on over in red space at the moment. I'm not quite sure why the AI runs his army quite so far back into his base. But he turned around as soon as I started attacking this, I think. So there you go, there's the trash units, the halberdiers there, and really these should be concentrating on, if I knew what I was doing, these should be concentrating on the horses, any mounted units. These guys should probably fight the same unit on the opposite side at the moment, and that's probably the best fight for them. But if you see here, he's got some gunpowder units, so hand cannoneers. In fact, does he have just one? And the siege. And I don't have anything at the moment kind of to deal with the siege. What I should have done is built some siege of my own, and I don't do that until very late on. I think this could have been a shorter game if I'd have done that. I think it was a bit premature bringing these trebuchets in. If you've not played this before, then you probably just what are all these noises and why would anyone find this fun? But that's strategy games for you. So we've got now 38 halberdiers, prepping some more longbowmen. We've got 24, and I think I send these guys in just in the nick of time, really, because my trebuchets are about to go. I think they all go down here. Yeah, again, I don't really have any counter to these to this siege at the moment. What I could have done was started producing some knights or some light cavalry or something to deal with them. That's probably the best option for me here. But as you will see, I don't do that at all. I just keep spamming these guys. And so far, like I say, my economy is untouched, even though it could be better. I've built some more farms over here, but not very many. So that must have been when I realised all those villagers were stood about doing nothing. And again, I have to retreat because I'm running out of units here. But you can see why I choose to go for Britons with the longbowmen. I think it's, for someone who's not very good, it's nice to have a unit that can whittle the enemy down at range. But look how little damage they're doing to this one ram. But then as soon as they start attack, but then one shot from those guys can like take out half my army. So that's one of the drawbacks of going with like an archer sieve. So if you look at my resources here, I'm having a bit of trouble. I've got a lot of production queued up, so that's good. But yeah, running out of food. My gold's not great. I don't really need stone at the moment, but so I'm probably thinking I need some more farms. Or maybe I'm just thinking, don't die, please don't die. We've come so far. I haven't seen him create a single one of his unique unit. He must not think it's the right. It's probably wise actually. If I'm going archers, his unique unit's like a hand-hand swordsman. They're very good, but they're very slow. So that's probably why he's not creating any, because those guys versus archers, they wouldn't be able to get to the archers before they died, I would imagine. I don't know why these guys are. Maybe I've just forgotten about them. There's no reason to send those guys in. They're not going to do anything. Maybe just cause a little bit of a distraction. So again, I'm not doing too badly. I'm not doing too well, but I'm not doing too badly. I ain't died yet, basically, is what I'm saying. But but definitely, I keep sending the same units in, and they keep dying, which is a telltale sign of someone who's not confident and don't really know the best army composition that he needs to deal with whatever's coming at him. So at this point, I think I'll probably see this castle and try and trebuchet that down. But this is quite bad here. I do have my archers who are helping out a lot, but everything's kind of split up a little bit. So, oh my! I don't know what they're doing in there. No idea. I must have clicked them there, but I don't remember doing that. Here you see me attacking his monastery, which means that his relics, he don't get any gold from his relics until he builds another one and puts them in. So it's always good to go for a monastery if you see one. And you see I keep running out of food. And yet I'm not expanding my food economy either. So definitely I can see myself a lot of places where I could improve here. So I took a castle and a town centre down there. And bring on the trash units. More trash units are needed. Let's just see what I can see at the moment. So I can see the majority of his base. I don't know about like the back end. The back, I don't know. Half, probably about half there. I think this is the furthest I've pushed so far. We have taken quite a few buildings out here, which is probably why our score now is doing okay. So, see what I'm looking at. Okay, so you'll see me try and take the hill there for the bonus damage, but there's just I should be focusing on the try to take the siege out. In fact, that his mangonel or onager there could have really done a lot more damage to me than, but it's just not enough units, and I'm attacking buildings with my units when I should be attacking units with my units. But I am sending more in to help anyway. But you see how quickly they all they all die. And if I'm not mistaken, these trebuchets probably aren't going to last too long. Sending those guys into the middle of that was a big mistake. They'll die really quickly. Now I'm queuing up more units, you see there. Until I run out of food. Then go to a castle, queue up some more archers. Have I found the gold yet? Have I found that gold? Still haven't found this gold. It's right there. I think I've built a couple more farms there. I should have really built some more around here as well. Because it is consistently food that I'm running out before wood. Let's go over to his, see his stats. So he's on the bare bones of his resources, but look, he's not even got to his maximum population. So he's been able to fend me off without even getting to 200 population. Which just shows you a little bit something about the skill difference between me and the AI. Where I've been maxing it out quite regularly and then losing it all really quickly. So all those trebuchets that I had have gone. And again he's pushing. At this point I'm probably thinking, no, I'm going to lose this. But I think the key thing there though is the fact that he's probably running out of resources now. Still got plenty of food and wood, as you can see, but does he have any gold left? So I don't think he's got gold yet left, so the only gold that he's got is coming from his relics. And at some point soon I will find that. But yeah, I think one of the thing that got me back into playing this was definitely finding T90's channel on YouTube. He was the guy that I mentioned at the start who just out of his love for the game started hosting a load of or casting a load of games on YouTube and well on Twitch probably first and then YouTube. And there's this huge community of people who still play this game, and there's tournaments. I think the latest tournament, the prize pool is something like, what do they say, $50,000 or something, and most of that's from donations from the people in the community and things like that. But it's still like incredible for a 20-year-old game. So here finally I think, right, okay, I need to think about doing something a little bit differently, because I keep sending the same units in and nothing's happening. So I decided to build a siege workshop here. So I'll send some villagers. There'll be a few villagers there, but there they are. Sending these 4 villagers to build this siege workshop. And the idea is I'm going to flood his base with these rams. So I just forward siege workshop and just produce as many rams as I can afford. And then I think once I build it, I'll build a tower here as well, just to keep these villagers safe. But again, probably the reason why I start doing okay at this point is because he's run out of resources. And I found the gold! Hooray! And that's going to be a huge help to me, because the only way that I can get more gold, I've got the relics, but the only way I can get more gold at this point is by selling food or wood. Do I even have a market? I don't think I have a market. No, I don't have a market, so I can't do that at the moment. So yeah, so build the tower, then you can garrison the villagers inside, and that'll just protect them, just in case I want to build anything else out here. And you'll see me, I'll start queuing up some, I think I've researched packed ram or something first, and then, yeah, here we go. So I've just queued up 13 rams that I'm just going to flood the base with. I'm still producing all these trash units that I'll keep sending in. And if you remember, that's only costing me food and wood. Yeah, so there's these crazy like competitions between people online. There's like pro players who are just, the skill is just insane. You like watch them playing, and let's just go back to the AI's view lock again. If you have epilepsy, it's probably a good idea to look away. Whoa. Okay. Okay, let's try that. No, he's going. The AI is going nuts. Okay, let's not do that. Put it on my view. So I think just the simple thing of creating these the capped rams there is probably what in the end wins it for me. Because even though he's running out of gold, he's still holding off my standard units with ease. I think he was going to attack that building, but seeing as though it's been destroyed, he stopped. And yeah, as well as the tournaments and stuff, there's still like I tried a few online games recently. It took me a while to get into some games, to be honest. But then once you're in, it can be a lot of fun. But there's just some really skilled, talented players. So you kind of you're lucky if you last the entire game. Really, you can get killed off quite quickly. I mean, you see strategies from some of these pro players where they're killing other pro players off within about 5 or 10 minutes. So yeah, it's a bit ridiculous what can be done when you've got skills. So we're getting to the tipping point now where he stops having units that are able to deal with these rams that I'm sending in. I'm just going back now, probably going to queue up some more units, I guess. Yeah, there you go, more halberdiers. Starting to get into the meat of his economy now. Again, maybe trained some mounted units or some light cavalry or some. I probably didn't have the gold to do any cavaliers or anything like that, but some light cavalry would definitely help. Then I could have sent some of those around to the back of his base and damaged his economy, so which would have meant then that he couldn't create as many units. But yeah, getting to this point, I was just overjoyed because I've never been like the standard difficulty is too easy, in my opinion, but but hard is ridiculous for me. But there's like I say, there's harder difficulties in this, and again, I'm playing on a civilization that really benefits from this kind of map, so everything's in my favour, and it's still a massive slog to get to a win here. If this was on the next difficulty down, it would have been finished quite a while ago. Or if it was a more skilled player, it would have been finished quite a while ago. And going back to the community as well, they have like T90's videos are fantastic because he like I say, he's got a lot of passion for the game, and then there's all these like kind of community 4v4s diplomacy games and weird maps where like there's nothing but trees or you know, just like, and there you have it. The that it's at that point that the AI says, right, that's it, okay, GG, I'm tapping out. But yeah, so there's so he casts all these kind of crazy games. In fact, I might just go to YouTube and show you some of those at the end. But first, so it's at this point of the game where I'll have been able to see what he had left, and he wouldn't have had it wouldn't have lasted too much longer. All these these rams were doing work and would have taken care of all these buildings pretty quick, smart. But yeah, so hurrah, beat the hard difficulty. I tried another game today on hard and lost that, but there you go. So when you quit out, you will be able to see the stats here. So my military score was much better. My economy was a little bit better. His technology score was like destroyed me for some reason, and then my society score was really good for some reason. So let's go through and see why. So military, although, so he if you look at how many units of mine he killed, far more than how many I killed of his. I think my military lead was because of the buildings. I destroyed 84 buildings, and look, he was able to fend us off with half the army, which again is just using the correct units to fight your enemy's units. And then economy, so he got a couple of thousand more food, but I got quite a lot more wood, and he mined a lot more stone and gold. Whereas technology, and there you go, it's probably the amount of research that he did, because I didn't need to research a massive amount of stuff because I was going for quite a simple, there's only 3 units I was really using, and then I brought in the rams at the end. I did get more of the map explored, and I got to the first 2, advanced to the first 2 ages quicker, and he just beat me out for the last stage. And then society, and I did have an extra relic than him on my side, which was again another advantage for me, and did have more villages. But yeah, and then we get the timeline there, and the lighter colour is your villagers, and the darker colour is your military. And so you see, he started building up his military a lot earlier than I did, and then also, and you can see here, so this is when I probably had the first like large amount of longbows and such, and then as soon as we have a fight, that goes down to next to nothing, and his stays quite steady until I guess here, and then tails off at the end when he runs out of gold. But yeah, whoop-de-doo, awesome. Let's go back to main menu there and exit out. And so yeah, like I said, this was a grand final. But if I go to his channel here, there's all sorts of different kinds of videos. So we go to playlists, and you'll see I've watched like loads of them. So at the moment they're doing what's called hidden cup. So they have the qualifying rounds and stuff, and then once you get into like the kind of the finals of it, all of the people's names are hidden, so people don't know who they're fighting against. So I'm really excited to see how that's going to play out. Then he casts some games that are so ELO is kind of like your ranking in the Age of Empires Online. So low Elo Legend series that's his kind of players with not much experience, and he'll kind of give people pointers on how to improve. And then he's got these legend videos, and this is where I kind of cottoned on to him, because in these legend videos,
back in May
there's
2019,
let's just pause this a second. There's these kind of characters who have really specific strategies. Or there's this, I think the first one I saw was a blue, the guy's name's Blue Coffee, and he's not the, I mean, he's still a really good player, but he's not like the the best of the best kind of thing. But he's really good at diplomacy, so he'll get people on his side and turn people against each other and stab people in the back and do all this kind of stuff to win a game. So like, let's have a look. The one on I was watching the one on Texas the other day. Let's turn it down just so you can hear me. But so you have like these huge maps, and we've got what is it? 8 players.
It does look like Texas.
And over time, alliances will forge. You'll have people trading with each other and fighting against each other and turning on each other and all this kind of stuff. And it's a lot of fun. And it seems like there's a huge amount of awesome people in this community. So yeah, if you're interested in any Age of Empires stuff, definitely this is the channel to check out, T90, and you'll get to know about some of the pros and stuff like Viper and Hera and Doubt and Leary and all these other insanely good players of the game. But yeah, so Age of Empires 2, it's been some good times. Thanks for joining us, and I'll catch you next time. Alright, bye.